but look at my skin right now. Revlon sneakily released this new foundation. They've had this on Amazon unavailable or like out of stock for like 2 months now. So without further ado, this is the Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation. It contains 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid. So yeah, we're gonna put it on my face, do a wear test, review, the whole shebang as we normally do. Now before we get started, I usually say oily combination skin, but I'm really not oily anymore. So I'm gonna say normal / sometimes dehydrated skin. I am acne prone, as you can see from the recovering ornaments on my face. So this is $17.99 and as of now it's available on Amazon, Walgreens, and CVS. And it comes with 28 shades. This is how you do a solid foundation range. So yeah, 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid deeply hydrate and moisturize. Infuse the powerful botanical antioxidants to fight free radicals, blurs imperfections, leaves skin looking naturally radiant, and medium coverage is what it claims to be. And it also says reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles within 4 weeks. Like there's actually a couple of different like skincare improving claims to this. There's also one that says increases skin elasticity in 4 weeks. I'm kind of a skeptic when it comes to foundations or makeup in general claiming skincare benefits like long term. I don't think it usually actually affects the wear and the power of the foundation, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, there's the deets. I got 3 different shades just to make sure that I had one that worked. Okay, 209 Buff Beige, 217 Beige, 205 Natural Ochre. Yeah, they're definitely oxidizing. So yeah, this one was super light when I first laid it down. It's definitely darkening quite a bit. And then this one looked like it was my shade match, but now it's darkened so much to where you can see like, ooh, that ain't gonna work. How do I feel about this one back here? I actually think I'm gonna go with this one. Oh shoot, what was this one? 209 Buff Beige. In the comments below, let me know how you say beige. Do you say beige or beige? I say it differently. It just kind of depends on the time. So let's start back here where I have the most to cover up because you want to start where you have like the most, like the mostest. Very natural. Like it's not overly dewy. It's not matte at all. What I like to do with foundations like this that are a little bit more, not really runny, but just they're not like a moussey kind of texture, is let the first layer dry before I go in and build it up, because a lot of times if you try to build up like a wet layer, it just kind of sticks to itself and it doesn't really build. So if you let that first layer dry, it kind of solidifies a little bit to where it acts more like a wall, and then you'll get better coverage. So on the other side, let's try a different shade. So I kind of want to try that lighter shade, 205 Natural Ochre. As you can see, I do have, let me zoom you guys in. That would probably be beneficial. There's what one layer looks like with each side. So once again, this is, because I'm going to forget if I don't keep repeating it, 205 Natural Ochre and 209 Buff Beige. Sitting really nicely on my pores. Let me turn down the ISO so you can see better. Look at that. That's a really pretty finish. So I think I'm going to go into a sponge for my next round. Dry enough. So I'm gonna go back into 205 Natural Ochre, which is that lightest one, but yeah, it somehow ends up working. Like it oxidizes to where it matches me. So I've got my warm, wet sponge, so let's go ahead and start on this side that's most dry. It's just not building up coverage that much. I mean, there's a little bit more, but you can still see my spots peeking through. So on this side, I think I'm gonna go into the brush again. I am having to use quite a bit of product though. I've already had to pump out like probably 8 different times. So yeah, a little bit does not go a very long way if you like coverage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits there with the building. So here's what it looks like. So yeah, you can still see some of my bumps peeking through, but it's really not bad. Like I can take this. The finish is beautiful. It just looks so radiant and luminous. Like my skin just looks like quenched. It feels really, really nice. I'm super excited about this. So mamacitas, it is 2:26 p.m. So I'm gonna go off camera and finish up the rest of my face, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty, we are done with the rest of the face. So everything I'm wearing will be listed below in the description box for a full-on breakdown. Check down there. I did use cream cheek products for the most part, except my highlighter. That's the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter powder. Like, I just set my T-zone and under my eyes, and I love that you can still see the finish of the foundation showing through. Like it's not completely mattified. I will say though, my forehead does look a tad bit spotty and patchy, like right here where I applied powder. That could be because I applied too much foundation. Like maybe this is one of those foundations that with layering, it just doesn't sit the best on the skin. So maybe it works best with one layer. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day, and I'll come back later and show you guys how it wears. So hopefully it holds up to my good vibes. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. All right, guys, final checkout time, and it's late. So as per usual, have to be quiet. I've got my lapel mic on a kickstand to try to make it as loud as possible. So please just bear with me, kick up the volume It'll be fine. We are at 12:26 a.m., which means we just passed the 10-hour mark around the dot. So I've got good news and bad news. Good news is that it feels literally as light as air. It feels like there's nothing on my skin. When you touch it, you don't feel it, like it's transfer proof. If I'm far away, it looks pretty good. But when you move in closer, that's where I get to the bad news. It's gotten pretty patchy, pretty cakey, and powdery, but really only in my T-zone where I applied powder. My hypothesis is that it's just one of those foundations that maybe just doesn't jive well with powders. Maybe I applied too many layers, and then with powder, it just it kind of congealed. I will say another con that I've seen is that the cheek products don't hold up very well at all, which it's a 10-hour wear day. So, I mean, it's going to fade a little bit, but the only thing I see is my highlighter, and that looks kind of choppy and powdery and not very good. But my blush, my bronzer, it's pretty much it's flown out the window. My acne's popping through a little bit, but not horribly. So what I think I'm gonna do is come back for a round 2 review and do a second day wear test without powder. Not necessarily showing you start to finish, applying it and all that stuff, because you guys have already seen that. I'm talking just jumping on here once I've got all my makeup on. I should probably take my glasses off so you can see what my face looks like, just talking, That would probably be helpful. Can't see without my glasses though, okay? So I'm sorry. So yeah, I'll come back later on and we'll do a day 2 wear test and see how the foundation wears without powder. So I'll see you then. All right, guys, I'm back from my round 2, day 2 check-in. So I gotta make this pretty snappy. I gotta get out the door. But it's 4 o'clock right now, but we're gonna say 3:45 for a check-in time because I've been sitting here for a while with my foundation on. So we're gonna round down to 3:45. So yeah, here's what it looks like with no setting powder. The only powder that I've got on my face right now is a little bit of powder bronzer topping off a cream bronzer. But look at my skin right now. This without powder is where this foundation really shines, in my opinion. This is one of the only drugstore foundations I've found that gives that really natural but also glass skin kind of glow. This is juicy. It's that glow from within, just so healthy. It looks like I've drank a lot of water, I'm eating right and I'm working out. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day. We'll check back in later and we'll see how the foundation wears without powder. So I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, it is time to conclude our day 2 experiment. It is now 1:08 a.m. Yes, I know I need to be in bed. I don't need a lecture. As you can do the math in case you can't, as I had to do it on my fingers a second ago. Just past the 9-hour mark, working our way up to 10 hours. This is worn dramatically better without powder. The radiance, the finish of this is just absolutely beautiful. It seriously looks like a high-end foundation. It looks so expensive and you really do get that skincare / makeup hybrid feel, but it does not feel like I've got makeup on, period. So my biggest cons with this, I don't like the way it looks with powder. Okay, let's just get out there. It looks patchy, dry, cakey. At the same time, on the skin, whenever I touch my face, there's no transfer. It's not very buildable, so it's not easy to customize your coverage. It's pretty much a light or a medium coverage, and it doesn't play well with other products. Even in terms of applying cream cheek products on top of it or applying concealer, it's it just felt kind of sticky and tacky. I had a hard time dispersing the products around because they just wanted to sit in the first place I lay my tool down. It's not very fun to blend out and to play with. It doesn't have the best staying power. It's not bad. As you can see, I do have a lot of fade through on the spots I need the most coverage on. So my acne spots, they're definitely peeking through quite a bit. It's definitely not as radiant and glowy and dewy and pretty. So I totally turned the camera off and was about to take my makeup off when I realized that I totally missed some very crucial observations. I was literally about to just take this off and not tell you other things that I saw. What is wrong with me? So there's stuff happening that I didn't see when I first sat down at the 9-hour mark. So it is now 1:48. We just hit the 10-hour mark and it has gone downhill very quickly. T-zone is where I'm seeing a lot of problems outside of the fading that we talked about. Nose looks fine. Forehead looks really nice and smooth, still kind of glassed over. Chin looks okay, it's fading a little bit, you can see some redness peeking through, but there's no sinking or settling into my little line right there. The problem, people, the problem is that my cheeks look like I just got back from Hades. We have a ton of sinking. You can see every pore. My pores are very large and in charge, okay, and I do not like it. And it does look spotty and blotchy, patchy, cakey, separated, you name it. It looks like I applied a crap ton of powder and then took my fingernails and just scratched. But when I sat down at the 9-hour mark, this was not happening. And also at the 9-hour mark, my cheek products were holding up and going pretty strong. Now, it's turning into this big mud pile. There's this weird blotchy, patch of makeup that just doesn't look smooth at all. It just looks like I've applied a bunch of powder and didn't blend it out. Like it looks like I've like scraped at my face with my fingernails. So if you're looking for a foundation that you can wear for 8+ hours, I would say not this one. The thing is, I'm torn between the things that I really love about it and the things that I don't like about it. Like it's really got me split right in the middle. I don't see this being something that I want to gravitate towards whenever my skin is just really flared up, really active, you know, breakouts and stuff like that. Who's it gonna be good for? If you have dry skin, if you have mature skin, if you want something that's kind of like a skin tint and a foundation hybrid, it's for you. If you don't need full coverage, it's for you. If you like a radiant, dewy finish that makes you look like you have been exercising 7 days a week and drinking 100 gallons, not 100 gallons, oh my God, 100 ounces of water, this is for you. I don't know if it's gonna be good for people with super extremely oily skin. The problem that comes into play is that if you can't use powder with the foundation, you can't combat that. So I mean, just keep your receipt. Hopefully I've given you enough information to make a more educated decision about this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-day review. And if you did, give this video a big old thumbs up. Here's a couple more things for you to check out next. Just venture around the channel, make yourself at home. Subscribe if you're not already. Turn on that notification bell to always see what's happening on the channel. And I will see you guys in the new year. Mwah.